got this in rain mode. It's not been sunny for a few days. It feels really good. I mean, I've not even got out my subdivision. I don't plan to keep on riding in the rain, and I know that it won't always be raining in the Philippines, but you know, let's see. So I've wrapped up my GoPro. If anyone knows about the Hero 6, you'll all know that you need quite a large, silly adapter, you know, to be able to take a mic. Yeah, I got my GoPro wrapped up. The connection where the microphone is all wrapped up in electrical tape and Teflon. I refuse to be held back by the rain. I really want to be on my bike. I just wanted to see what you guys thought, really, when it came to quite a big topic that I've noticed out there. I mean, I've seen it on I Ride Manila's vlog. I've spoken to a few friends about this question, but with biking being very popular in the Philippines, and I personally think it's very essential, you need to, if you want to get around quickly in Manila, you need to be on a bike. And it's great for going out of town, and you know, everyone kind of knows why I like biking, and it's more about just the ride, it's what the bike does for you. But a question I've been made aware of, or a topic, like I said, it's more about, well, should a smaller bike, a bike that's a bike that is under 400cc, should they be allowed on the highway? It's quite obvious, you know, why there are some bikes that might not be allowed on the highway. What I was really wondering is why 400cc? I mean, this is a 900cc bike, according to Yamaha, and I think it's like 849 or something, you know, on the ORCR, which is what in the Philippines it's about, like your registration, you know, what is it officially recognized as. But should you have a bike that's smaller than 400ccs and be allowed to go on the highway? Now, a lot of people say yes, a lot of people say no. I mean, I can understand why everyone wants to put safety first. So, I mean, I'm really just putting this question out to all of you guys. You know, what do you think? I mean, I don't know if there's a right or wrong. I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm taking a completely neutral stance, and I'm also on a big bike, and I'm taking the service road right now. And I know that I've occasionally been on that, you know, South Luzon Expressway and realised that I should have just sticked on the service road, just because the traffic on that expressway, but the traffic's been worse on there, and you're paying 84 pesos from like Sucat to Makati and vice versa. Should you be allowed on a bike that's below 400ccs? And you know, I just wondered, how did we arrive at 400ccs? You know, or is it bikes have more safety features when they're 400cc? Or I mean, I think a Duke 200 has ABS, and I think it's quite capable of going 100, 120. Difficult question. I mean, I can even tell you, when I'm on this bike, I remember actually going on the highway a long time ago on a KTM 390, and I was coming from Calamba a while back when I used to live in the Philippines, like 2+ years ago, and I actually got stopped. They were like, no, it's a small bike, sir, hindi pwede yun. So I was like, okay, well, here's the ORCR. They let me on. But even on this bike, I still get looked at, like, when I get to the gate. I mean, the guard comes over with his shotgun and has a look at it, and he looks at the woman inside the booth, and so they're quite on top. They're on it when they're stopping people. And I mean, I've not noticed signs, but I mean, it's kind of like an untold rule. I mean, maybe there are signs, but I've not noticed any. It's an untold, it's not obvious. I mean, you could easily wander on, you know, on the SLEX if you came from Makati going to, you know, the south, because you have to exit at Nichols interchange. Anyway, those of you that live in Manila know what I'm talking about. So you can technically just wander onto into the toll section of, or the beginning of the toll section in Essex. I actually wasn't here that long ago, but I heard that they didn't allow bikes at all on any toll road in the past. And I actually read an article today online where some guy in 2004 got stopped. I know this is irrelevant, but he got stopped for being on a big scooter, and the guard said, well, because it's a scooter you're not allowed, because they couldn't differentiate what a scooter, a big or a small scooter was. So they said it was easier to have a rule where there's no scooters, and the reason why they put that rule on is because big bikes have pedals on it, and that's a whole load of bollocks, really. I mean, you can have big scooters. I know people who have big scooters, and you know, they can keep up with this bike no problem. So, you know, I guess I'm making a point as well. I mean, I could be on that expressway going to Alabang, but you know, I don't want to pay toll, and I think this is just as comfortable. And 400cc bikes, I mean, maybe I put a vote on my Instagram story, should 400cc bikes be allowed. I mean, I put my Instagram here, Ride Republic, so check that out. Comment on a picture, like a picture, give this video a thumbs up, it's much appreciated, and subscribe if you like, that would be great. Safety should be the reason. But talking about safety, look at this bus. Oh god, I could go on about this all day. So talking about safety, you know, people could just fucking drive a wreck of a Jeep. And by the way, jeepneys, the Philippines probably wouldn't be able to, the economy depends on Jeeps. I mean, people getting around cheaply and efficiently, or not efficiently, cheaply and with minimum wait times, I suppose. There's a Jeep probably every 20 seconds at least. So with efficiency, I think, you know, they are essential. Maybe they need to think about how that's done and how to modernize it, make that safer. So just to put it into comparison, by the way, in the UK they allow any bike that can do the speed to go on the motorway. That was told to me by a driving instructor on a bike in the UK. But yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a 150, 125. If you're not a learner, then you can go on the motorway if you can do the speed limit. You know, at least let people understand why you're making these choices. So it's not wrong to ban them, it's not wrong to allow them on there. I mean, you know, just have a criteria. That's my opinion. It was like in the UK, you know, before the sort of like cafe racer sort of movement, you know, they basically, not everyone could afford a car back then, so you know, people had bikes, but when cars became affordable, you know, bikes became a symbol of speed and rebellion. And there was a cafe racer. They actually raced between cafes in London. You know, it's not about rebellion, it's not about, you know, it's about being tipid, was what they would say here in the Philippines. I ride a bike because it's far cheaper than having a car. I mean, with my Toyota Innova, like I said, I spend about, if I was to ride it where I go on this bike, I mean, I'd spend about 2,400. So I'm actually getting a discount on my bike price already. I mean, I think I've saved like 8 or 9k in fuel. Oh, by the way, here's another thing, parking on bikes. So you are, you know, very limited to where you park, and you know, guards can range from biker friendly to completely anti-bike, depending on the management, I suppose. Yeah, so talking about parking as well, like, you know, I think being on a big bike, you should be able to park your bike. This is quite nice parking, but you should be able to, you know, park your bike in its own space, because you know these bikes are far heavier, far more expensive, and you know people might try and move your bike to get their bike out and knock it over, etc. I know I've mentioned that in a previous vlog. 400cc bikes, what do you guys think? What's your opinion? Jay Mabini, tell me. Yeah, give me a list of questions, guys. Like what kind of questions do you want answered? Let me know. Like, or give me some points you have. Like, do you have a smaller bike? Do you have a bigger bike? I want a smaller bike as well. I want an underbone bike. Just because I have a big bike. And it would be nice to be able to just squeeze through even smaller spaces and spend even less money on gas and maintenance. Although I haven't paid for any maintenance on this bike yet, because it is only what's temperature on this bike. Oh, it's full. Wait, it's only look 590 on the odometer, and I've got to get to 1,000 before I even take it to Y-Zone. Alright guys, so that's a wrap. Thanks for everything. I know I might have repeated myself multiple times, but